there, Charlene Brewer here from Pure Natural Health and Wellness, talking to you today about tip number 2 to healthy living naturally. Our second most foundational tip for you is to eat vegetables, and eat vegetables with every meal and snack, including breakfast. Yes, I said breakfast. So what we're looking for here in this tip is to have a colorful plate full of vegetables that provides a variety so that you're creating a nutritional powerhouse for your body. So if you think about what happens, our body is comprised of millions of different cells that is responsible for hundreds of thousands of different body functions from mental to physical. So the nutrients that we derive come from our food to enable the cellular process to happen. So from a cell standpoint, we're dealing with the membrane, we're also dealing with DNA, the gene replication, as well as the mitochondria, which is the energy powerhouse of the cells. So the nutrients that we derive from foods have a positive effect on this entire cellular process. So we're looking for about 5 to 10 servings of vegetables per day. Minimum would be 5. Now, of course, that might be a stretch for some people that aren't even consuming any vegetables right now. So you may want to start slowly and increase that gradually to at least 5. And ideally, we'd love to see 10 servings of vegetables per day into every body. So the next point would be to choose organic as much as possible and where possible. So as much as nutrients from foods have a positive effect on cellular activity, chemicals have a negative impact on cellular activity. So we're looking to reduce our toxic exposure from the foods that we consume. So Environmental Working Group, or EWG.org, provides a service where they rate the clean 15 and dirty dozen foods per year. Every year this company will assess the foods that have the most toxic exposure or chemical residue and the cleanest foods. So when you're choosing organic, you can choose organic foods that are on the dirty dozen list and buy conventional foods from the clean 15. The next part of this suggestion would be to make your plate look like a color wheel. So we're introducing all kinds of colors from the rainbow, and these can be found right from the earth, so in fruits and vegetables, although today we are talking specifically about increasing vegetable intake. So we're looking here to have about 2/3 of our plate full of vegetables, if at all possible, or at least that's the ideal goal. So how can we do this? So typically in my clinical practice, lunch and dinner doesn't seem to be too much of a problem for people. Perhaps injecting variety may be a little bit more of a challenge. So trying to experiment with foods that you're not perhaps familiar with and that you're new to, that might be a way to just experiment with yourself. But the key here is breakfast. Usually a lot of people that I see in my clinical practice have a hard time getting around the mental conditioning that we have about breakfast foods. We tend to think of breakfast in a box, from cereal, from a granola bar, to granolas, to toasts. So what's wrong with having a side spinach salad for breakfast, for an example? What's wrong with having what you had for dinner for breakfast? So the ways that you can incorporate a little bit more vegetables in your food would be, first of all, in a smoothie. That's a great way to hide vegetables, not only for yourself, but for your kids. Juicing vegetables is another fantastic and easy way to get nutrients into your cells. What about adding vegetables to your frittata, to your egg dishes, or a side salad with anything that you have for breakfast? Chopping up vegetables, hummus along with some peppers or cucumbers or carrots, fantastic way and such a simple way. So anyhow, I hope some of these tips have helped you to implement more vegetables into your daily consumption. And just remember, one of the main ways that our health is powered is from the food that we eat.